Good evening, and welcome to Weigh Well, the ABCs of children's weight management. It is well known that an overweight child is much more likely to become an overweight adult and experience many of the complications that are likely to follow, including diabetes, high cholesterol, high blood pressure, and a higher risk of heart disease. Doctors are actually checking cholesterol in young children now, children who have a history of high cholesterol or heart disease in the family. And that's something that's never been done before. So the question would be why? Why are the doctors suddenly becoming concerned? Usually the pediatrician will have a growth chart in your child's file at the doctor's office. I think I have one here to show you. Here it is. Everybody seen these before? Okay. The front side is your child's height and weight according to age. Well, we all know that children come in many different sizes. This doesn't work. This other side does. This is what's called the BMI. BMI is body mass index, and what that tells you is what your weight should be according to your height. That makes a lot more sense. So, they give you this chart, and where the pink areas are here at the top, that's the part that's considered overweight or obese. The white areas are not. Generally, what we want to see is a child follow the same line, maybe go up one or down one. We don't want to see two standard deviations. That would mean the child would be in trouble as far as gaining weight or losing weight. There was a study done called the NHANES study. That's short for the National Health and Nutrition Examination Survey. Very briefly, not going to go through the whole survey, what it means is it started in 1963. So when they started the study in 1963 to 1970, about 4% of 6 to 19-year-olds were obese. 4%. Today, that number is 17%. And what I find very interesting about the study is that 4% stayed that way from 1963 to 1980. It jumped to 10% in 94, 15% in 2000, and now 17% at the last study in 2004. So what that means, we went from 4% to 17%, we quadrupled. We quadrupled the number, okay? So what happened? Now, looking around here, we have various different ages, but those of you who grew up in the 70s know what happened. It was a whole different world then. You get home from school, you changed into your play clothes, you were gone till it was time for dinner, and you were back outside till the street lights came on. It was a whole different world. So back then, we didn't need to be as careful, and probably were not as careful, about what we ate. Nowadays, it's a little different. Nowadays, you have children coming home after school. Many times, mothers are working outside the house now. Children have to stay inside for safety purposes. There's lots of TV, video games, computer time. There's a lot more homework, it seems. I don't know if that's true, if it just seems that way. There seems to be a lot of homework for the younger children. And then, mom gets home, and it's time to start driving the children around. The children to their many structured activities. So, this is a big difference from 1970. And also, with both parents working, very often, people are eating out more. That didn't happen so often before either. I know it didn't with me. We had 4 children. I think it was twice that I remember eating out. But now it's very common. So it's fairly evident how the obesity epidemic came about. Too many calories consumed, too little exercise to burn it off, equals weight gain. Very simple. What's not so evident is how to fix it. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go through 4 topics to help try to figure this out. We're going to look at diet, portion size, behavior modification, and exercise.